Time for more Detective D. So last time we were what were we doing? Oh, we were kicked off the case. We found somebody. We found another victim, a third one, and her name is Yuan Kiki. And then we told the Empress about basically everything, and then she kicked us off the case. And so now we're like trying to investigate on the sly, so she doesn't get out, kill us, because she will. She totally will. She can't afford anybody to show defiance to her, so she's gonna kill anybody who gets in her way. Okay. Oh, this is Gangwan? So Gangwan is supposed to be a merchant who can help us figure out what's up with this rose petal. Ah, I see you are looking at my fine silks. Does the distinguished gentleman require any assistance picking out the right fabric today? My shop is renowned for its unique assortment of silks. Dare I say, you'll not find a better collection in all of the empire. You have quite a selection, but I'm afraid I won't be buying anything today. My name is Di Renji. I'm an investigating magistrate. I've come because I need to identify the provenance of a peculiar, piece of fabric, which I believe to be a rare variety of silk. In short, I require the assistance of an expert silk trader. I heard you're one of the best in the city. Ah, you flatter me, Magistrate D. My name is Gingwan. What can I do to assist you? Tell me about yourself. Have you always worked around silk? Some find it strange when I tell them I love silk since I was a little boy. Couldn't get enough of it. I'd often sneak into my mother's dressing room to roll around in her silk dresses just to feel the coolness of the material's embrace. Totally nothing wrong with that. Like, some of my favorite blankets, like, had this, when I was a kid, had, like, this, like, it's just a nice texture. It just feels so, like, when you're, like, anybody who understands, you know, like, there's just certain materials that when you rub them against your skin, it just feels nice, and you just want to just continuously touch it. So it's totally not weird at all. Like, the texture of silk was something that he liked, so that is not a weird thing. But I digress. It called me and I answered. My passion for it has put me where I am. I can't complain. I need to identify this piece of silk. What can you tell me about it? Let me see that. Where did you get this? It was left behind at a crime scene. Oh dear, there must be some kind of mistake. This fabric, I recognize it anywhere. It is one of my creations. Uh-oh. One of yours? Yes, a rare silk that is thick yet soft, sturdy yet elegant. I designed it as a decorative fabric to be made into curtains or valances. But it was a failure as a commercial product. People lamented its weight and thickness. They also complained that it was overpriced. But there was one person who was able to make use of it, a block printer named Gu Chuan. He said the silk was perfect for a new printing method he was developing. Tell me more about Gu Chuan. I can tell you what I know, but it isn't much. Do you know where I can find Gu Chuan? I can't really help you there. Unless I'm dealing with a big buyer, I don't usually request an address. But you may want to speak to the soup stand owner, Mrs. Cho. I think he eats there from time to time. When's the last time you saw him? He came by a few months ago. Told me he was retiring. Something about his protege betraying him. I haven't seen him since. He looked depressed if you ask me. But then again, I'm no physician. Thank you for the information. Sure thing. There's yeah, it's great silk, isn't it? There's a cat up here. I wonder how he got up there. Some posters advertising various services. Nothing really interesting. I don't have time for that. I have! A table for customers with a soup stand. Looks like cat food. Fish is on the menu today. Why? Why not? I want the cat down! Ooh, soup. Fishball soup. It smells delicious. Seriously. You know, we need to eat. Just because you don't like to eat doesn't mean I don't like to eat. I want to eat. I'm sorry, we're not selling any soup today. I suppose that's fine. I wasn't really looking for a meal. I'm sorry for the rudeness. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. My poor Momo, he's in trouble. Momo? Is that a relative of yours? Avatar Last Airbender reference. That's not what this is actually referring to, but there's a character named Momo. No, don't be silly. I'm talking about my closest companion of all. My beloved cat, Momo. Oh. Look at him, up there, on the awning. He's stranded and he can't get down. God knows how he got up there in the first place. Well, it doesn't seem like it's too hard. My Momo is a gentle, timid soul. He never climbs on anything. Someone must have startled him. I've been trying to get him down all morning. Nothing's worked. He won't even come down for his favorite dish of fresh fish. Don't worry, I'll help you bring him down. You will? Thank you so much. You're some kind of officer, aren't you? I knew it when I saw you. You have bright and kind eyes. My Momo is in luck. So, how do we get this cat down? That is a question. Maybe we can use some of the silk? I don't even know how he got up there. I don't even know how we're gonna get up there. See if we can talk to Gingwan. Okay. So now we gotta figure out... Oh, we can use a chair. Here, kitty kitty. They won't come down. He won't feel safe jumping into your arms. He needs a steady platform to land on. A steady platform. Seriously? He needs a steady... I guess we need to find something that has a steady platform. There's an umbrella and I'm taking it. Oh, this is the lady that we're looking for. But anyway, let's try to get this cat down. Detective D. I'm trying to be direct here. Oh, there you go. Here, kitty kitty. He still won't budge. Maybe you could try luring him down with something. Are you freaking kidding me? Cat! You will get down from here! Let's see if our little friend is hungry. Fish skewer sorts. This is so ridiculous. Here, kitty kitty. I think I got his attention. Gotcha. Thank you so much for rescuing my little Momo. Think nothing of it, Mrs. Cho. I'm glad Momo is safe and sound. I'm investigating Magistrate D. Oh. This sounds so weird when it says that. I'm investigating Magistrate D. Rinji. Can I ask you a few questions? Yes, of course. Tell me about yourself. How long have you had this soup stand? I started selling soup in this market 25 years ago. I loved it so much I never bothered getting married. Didn't really see the need anyway. Too much hassle if you ask me. All I need is my Momo and my loyal customers. I'm trying to locate a man named Gu Chuan. I believe he is a regular customer of yours. Ah, Gu Chuan the block printer? I don't know anything about him other than his occupation. He tends to come at different hours of the day and likes to keep to himself. Too bad, really. If I ever did get married, he'd be a good candidate. Anyway, eats here at least once a week. Loves my fishball soup. In fact, he was here just yesterday afternoon. He was here yesterday? Are you sure? Yes, quite. He came by late in the afternoon. Had 3 bowls of soup while playing with Momo. They get along so well. He stayed for a while, too. I remember because by the time he got up to leave, the sun was coming down. When he was here yesterday, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Something he might have said or done? No, I can't say that I did. He had his favorite soup, then he left. Oh wait, yes, I remember now. Before leaving, he got up and looked at the advertisements on the wall over there. I think he stood there for a little while before taking one of them. Why would Gu Chuan be a good candidate for marriage? He seems to love cats. I saw him pet Momo in the gentlest way. That's a man I can admire. Have a good day, Mrs. Cho. Farewell, Magistrate D. I hope you come back and try my soup next time. If Gu Chuan was here yesterday afternoon, then he has an alibi for at least one of the murders. Nonetheless, I need to question him to find out his involvement. The little title in green ink reads Kung Fu. This is an advertisement for a martial arts tournament. It is taking place today at the Green Bow Academy. The title in red ink reads Musical Show. This is an advertisement for a musical performance. It is taking place today at the Golden Gate Theater. Mrs. Cho said she saw Gu Chuan taking a poster before leaving. He must have taken the one in the middle, but he didn't tear off the paper cleanly. I can see red ink on the paper fragment he left behind. The red ink on the torn poster matches that of the musical performance poster. It may be a long shot, but there's a chance Gu Chuan will be visiting the Golden Gate Theater today. I should mark it on my map. I love how we're really investigating. So, anyway, we still got some things to do. So this is someone we need to talk to. By the way. Yeah, this is as far as it can go. Basket of fresh flowers. And no, these are not made of silk. They're the real thing. You. I need the book that you stole. Pardon me, are you Jing Yali? Yes. Do we know each other? My memory is not what it used to be. No, we never met. I am Magistrate Di. I'm with the Justice Department. Oh, please forgive my impertinence, Your Excellency. I'm not accustomed to meeting court officials. There's nothing to forgive. We may forgo the formalities for now. Were you looking to buy some flowers, then? No, I'm afraid I have much more serious matters to ask you about. Ask me? I don't know. I doubt I know anything of importance. And even if I did, I probably can't remember it. But feel free to ask what you want. Tell me about yourself. Have you always sold flowers for a living? I grew up in the southern province of Jiangnan. My parents sold flowers at the local market for as long as I can remember. They taught me the trade when I was still little. But as I got older, I grew tired of the countryside and moved to the city. Chang'an has been my home ever since. You mentioned you have trouble remembering. What did you mean? Well, 2 years ago, I was in a carriage accident. I don't recall much of it except for waking up in a ditch, but from that point on, my memory has been unreliable. Some people who witnessed the incident later told me that the carriage had fallen over and that I was lucky only to have bumped my head. But shortly after, I realized something was terribly wrong. I couldn't remember certain things about my past, about myself. Where I grew up, my siblings' names, what I liked to eat. These memories seem faded, often out of reach. Even new memories can be hard to retain unless I make a concerted effort. That's unfortunate, but you seem to be doing well. Some days are better than others. Visual cues usually help jog my memory, so I often write things down. What do you mean by visual cues? Often, seeing a word or drawing can trigger my memory. Even a familiar object sometimes has the same effect. That's how I remember my hometown. I couldn't recall the name of the village I grew up in until I stumbled onto a lucky charm my mother had given me before I left. You visited the Imperial Library not long ago. Why? I visited the Imperial Library? I honestly can't remember. A man named Kong Mintao lets you take out a book even though that is strictly forbidden. Do you remember that? He and his brother, Kong Mingpu, are custodians of the library. I believe you left quite an impression on both of them, especially Mingtao. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of that. I have no more questions for now, thank you. You have a great day, sir. So she has crappy memory, okay. I guess we need to go back to the library. She said that she has to have visual cues. Dang, we have a lot of locations. We have the Imperial Library. We were there. We're gonna go back to the Imperial Library. So how am I supposed to get her to remember? This is a problem. So how am I supposed to get her to remember? How do I get her to remember? It's like, dagnabbit. Okay, going back to the central market. So we need to figure out some way to... Maybe Cho can help us? Mrs. Cho, we need help. Okay. Her bright and friendly face matches the welcome allure of her flowers. I guess we can't do anything right now. We just gotta figure out if we can find something that will jog her memory. Okay, let's go to the Golden Gate Theater. Zhao twin sisters? The sign outside introduced them as the famous Zhao twin sisters of Canton. They are performing beautifully on the pipa. Enjoying the show? Marvelous, simply marvelous. To think the Zhao sisters were in town and I only found out about it yesterday. You look like someone who appreciates good music. Are you also an admirer of the twins' famous pipa duet? Indeed, I do enjoy a good musical performance, but unfortunately I'm not here to discuss that. I am Magistrate D. Renji from the Justice Department. Are you Guchuan, the block printer? Yes, well, no, what I mean is I am Guchuan, but I no longer do any printing. What? Wait, how do you know who I am? Your name has come up during a murder investigation. What? How can that be? I never heard a whole soul in my life. In that case, you won't mind me asking you a few questions. Very well, I have nothing to hide. Tell me about yourself. I was block printer all my life. It wasn't a very glamorous job, but I was good at it. It's harder than it looks, you know, carving individual pieces of wood reliefs. It takes time and dedication. For years, I had my own shop printing mostly on textiles. Business was steady. Some time ago, I decided to take on an apprentice. I once had a master who taught me the craft. I figured I'd pass on my knowledge and get some much needed help in return. But things didn't work out as I had imagined. I've made my peace with it, though. After all, retirement has brought with it its own delights. Why did you retire? You're asking me to dig up the past, you understand? Events I'd rather forget. Even though what happened took place over a year ago, thinking about it still stirs up painful memories. As I said before, I started taking on apprentices. The first few were mediocre at best. They could barely keep up. Then a young man from the countryside showed up. He was quiet and unassuming, almost deceptively so. But underneath, his intelligence and determination matched that of all my previous students put together. In a short period of time, he had mastered most of the skills that took me years to learn. His name was Han Sindong. His success was a great source of pride for me. I felt a kinship with him. I trusted him. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, everything changed. Please, go on. Sidong became distant and erratic. At times, he seemed unable to focus as if something was eating away at him from the inside. On those days, he would simply ignore my instructions and practice engraving the same symbol over and over again. I often wondered what thoughts had him so obsessed, so haunted, but alas, I never did muster the courage to ask. One day, things reached a new low. For reasons I have yet to understand to this day, I found out that he had stolen an entire roll of silk. When I confronted him, he became hostile. He called me a slave for not seeing the truth, for not supporting his mission. But in reality, I had no idea what he was talking about. That was the last straw. I had no choice but to turn him away. That was the last time I saw him. It broke my heart. My business floundered, but I had no wish to carry on any longer. I was ready to move on. Tell me more about Han Sedong. All right, what would you like to know? Any theories about what may have caused this change in behavior? I often lie awake at night thinking about that very question, but no clear answer ever emerges. Deep down, I believe something must have happened to darken his heart. Something terrible. He was a decent young man who was suffering in silence. That much I know. And to my everlasting regret, I was not able to help him overcome his inner demons. Could someone who else have caused this suffering? Perhaps someone who was close to him? You mean a woman? I suppose that is possible. He never spoke about anyone in particular, but in the early days I would sometimes catch a glimpse of him smiling to himself. You know, the way a young man smiles in contentment while daydreaming about someone special? But I never thought much of it. Truth be told, Sedong was generally quite clumsy around our female customers. He usually kept his head down, almost too shy to look at them in the eyes. What do you know about his past? Sedong was an orphan and a drifter. He spent most of his childhood moving from place to place on the other side of the Wei River. For most of his life he was poor and maltreated. Never really loved, never completely abandoned. He was invisible. When I met him 2 springs ago, he had just arrived in the city and was looking for work. I took a chance on him. A decision I don't regret. You said he repeatedly carved with the same symbol. Do you recall what it was or what it meant? Yes, how can I forget? Some days his desk would be full of wood blocks engraved with it. Strangely, I never saw him printed on anything. The symbol itself was thin and wavy. Looked like scratch marks more than anything else. I just assumed it was some random scribble. Does the silk stolen by Han Sedong match that of this rose petal? It looks like it's been dyed, but otherwise its texture and weight is unmistakable. Yes, this looks like the same silk Sedong stole from me. And you bought the silk from Gingwan in the Central Market, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. In fact, Gingwan is the only silk merchant who carried this unique material. I know because I looked long and hard for a silk like this to complement my experimental printing methods. Innovation, that's the secret to success. I need to know where you were yesterday, between midday and sundown. Well, my wife and son have been out of town visiting family up north this past week. He's married, so... Well, I mean, there were concubines, but I don't think the soup owner, Mrs. Cho, or Miss Cho? Mrs. Cho? Whatever. I don't know if she would actually want to be a concubine, though. I think she would want to be wifey number 1. Anyway, visiting that family up north this past week, so I've been spending most of my afternoon seeing old friends. Yesterday, I met up with 3 of them for a friendly afternoon card game before going for a stroll in the Central Market. That's when I decided to stop by Mrs. Cho's for her famous fish soup. I think I had 2 bowls, or maybe 3. In any case, I stayed there for a while before heading back home at dusk. Do you know where I can find Han Sedong? He used to have a little shack by the river, but I don't know if he still lives there. Here, I'll mark it on your map. But before you go, there's one more thing you should know. Just before we parted, Sedong handed me a piece of paper. He said it was a matter of life and death and that I should keep it on me at all times. He said someone would eventually come looking for him and that when that happened, I should give it to that person. I don't know how, but I think he knew that you were going to find me. Here, it's yours now. Maybe you can make sense of it. Thank you for your cooperation. Magistrate D, do you really think Han Sedong is guilty? On second thought, don't answer that. I think I prefer not knowing. By itself, this note makes very little sense. What do these numbers represent, and why do some numbers appear to be missing? Let's quickly go back to the Central Market and see if we can... This woman's memory! Darn it! Because I need to be able to read the symbols, and it won't... It's not helping! Let me check back the library one more time. I want the plaque. May I borrow this plaque? That thing? You can have it. Someone ordered an entire crate of those by mistake. We've got more than we know what to do with. In that case... Yay! I finally figured out the thing to spark her memory. He's getting an exercise of a lifetime. Does this look familiar? Yes, it does. Where have I seen this before? Of course, it's the plaque from the Imperial Library. That's where I met those two funny brothers. The tall one was particularly nice. He let me take a book with me, but I don't remember reading the book or where I put it. Oh dear, they must think I stole it. I should go back there and apologize. This happens to me all the time. Memories fade in and out. What's worse, I lose things constantly. Do you know why you took out a book about obscure writing systems? Is that what it was? It's not coming back to me. I can't think of why I would have been interested in that. I'm so sorry. I wish I could somehow remember more. You suck. Darn it, D. Okay. Let's just go to the shack. What's this? So silk rose like the ones found at the crime scenes. But why plant a fake rose in a real flower pot? That's odd. The stem is wet. This must be the boat the killer used for his getaway after he murdered Yuan Kiki on the Paradise Cloud. Just like the others, except the stem is wet. It's jammed. Sticking my hand in there is not going to accomplish anything. Funny lock. I should be able to turn this handle in both directions. The soil in the pet pot is wet like it's been watered. But why go through the trouble planting and watering a fake rose? Unless it's meant to draw my attention. Aha! There's something buried in the soil. There, I can try turning the handles now. Okay, so we need to get 5. It's a puzzle. So we have 5. I think it's a combination. 7. 9. 4. The right combination requires 3 turns. 1. So 5. And then 7. Three. Okay, so 3 turns. So we need to figure out... Okay, I get it now. So that's 5. Darn it. 3. 7. There you go. Got it. Yes, it's opened. Here's the leftover silk Han Xidong stole from Gu Chuan. He crafted each rose meticulously with this material. Han Xidong never stopped practicing with woodblock carving skills. He was obviously very smart, gifted even. What turned him to such a violent predator? It reads Shi Wenyan, beloved wife of Lam Haifeng. The book is her weakness. Her name is circled and crossed out. A note was removed from here. I can't make out what's left of it. It reads the Silk Rose Assassins. It reads Empress Wu, Mother of the Roses. They are her weakness. Her name is circled. It reads Women's script is the key. That's how they communicate. It reads Zulin Fei, beloved daughter of Zudan. The walking stick is her weakness. Her name is circled and crossed out. It reads Yuan Kiki, unattached, must use force. Her name is circled and crossed out. It's a piece of silk cloth with an odd symbol print on it. This must be the symbol Gu Chuan saw Han Xidong practicing. Its style resembles that of the 6 mysterious characters left at the crime scenes. So the rumors were true. Not only did the Empress sanction the use of clandestine forces, she gave birth to a secret weapon of her very own, a group of 4 female assassins codenamed the Silk Roses. Zulin Fei, Shi Wenyan, and Yuan Kiki. All 3 were once members of this group. But one person has been taken off this board and remains unaccounted for. Highly skilled and intelligent, they used a secret writing system called women's script to communicate, which means the Empress herself must know this language as well. But each of them returned to normal lives around 2 months ago. Were the Silk Roses disbanded? Yes, that makes perfect sense. Once the Empress officially took over power, it would have been politically untenable for her to condone such a faction within her own regime. It had to be swept under the rug. But somehow, Han Xidong found out about all this and orchestrated a plot to take out the Silk Roses one by one. How did he know about them? Did he witness one of the Silk Roses kill someone? Or worse, was he related to one of their targets? Whatever the reason, his plan was ultimately aimed at taking out the person who started it all. But how does he intend to reach the Empress? She is virtually untouchable within the confines of the royal palace. Unless he's luring her out. She's walking straight into his trap. Well, this just got bad. Does this symbol mean anything to you? Yes, I recognize it. The symbol, I've been searching for it. It's something from my past that I did not want to forget. But now it feels like an entire part of my past has been unlocked. I can remember. Tell me more. Growing up in a small village, a young girl like me had little chance of learning how to read or write. Or at least that's what the men believed. My mother, and others like her, secretly taught their daughters a special writing script, one reserved only for women. We simply called it women's script. Not all girls knew it, of course. It was difficult to learn and even harder to master. But once learned, the script became a way for us sworn sisters to communicate with each other, to explore the magic of the written word through poetry and art. Unfortunately, after my carriage accident, I had lost the ability to read or write a single character. Yet I knew that this knowledge was within me. I just needed to unlock it somehow. That's why I went to the Imperial Library. I'd hoped that my hunch was true, and that surrounded with all that knowledge, I could find something that could spark my memory. But the book I thought might have answers proved to be useless. It contained no mention of women's script, only languages invented by men and their grand ambitions. In my frustration, I threw it into the river. But thanks to you and this symbol, it's all coming back. You threw the book in the river?! You see, this symbol itself means woman. It is the first character we learned to write. Now I can't wait to return home and practice. I can't let it fade away again. That is remarkable. I had no idea such a script existed. I suppose that is the point. If men want to exclude us, then we have no choice but to create our own paths, far away from your judgments and suspicions. Point well taken. Let's hope men and women can continue to strive for a better union. I need you to look at one more thing for me. Can you tell me if this is women's script? Why, yes, this is indeed women's script, but I'm a bit rusty. Can you read it? I think so. I believe it says, "Meet alone, Crown Prince, resting place." Does that mean anything to you? I'm afraid it does. It is the final stage of his plan. This message was all for her all along. The murders, the notes, the handmade silk roses, it was all leading to this. A way to lure her out of the royal palace and into the open. He knew she would recognize the victims in the symbolic roses. He knew she could read women's script. Dee, why are you saying this all to a stranger? But most importantly, he knows she'll do anything to cover up this dark stain in her past. That's why she can't refuse to meet him. That's why she may go alone. How foolish of me. All those clues, all those deductions, I led her directly to him. Now, with this message, she's told her exactly where to find him. Dark stain? Royal Palace? Are you talking about the... I'm sorry, I've said too much. I must go now. Thank you for all your help. You're welcome. Best of luck to you. The Crown Prince. That must be a reference to Yizong, the Empress's firstborn son and heir to the throne, before he died suddenly at the age of 23. Some speculated that a power struggle between him and his mother was the true cause of his demise, but those rumors of foul play were never proven. Yizong's tomb is on the outskirts of the city, on the mountain to the east. That must be what he means by resting place. The Empress confiscated the evidence from the Justice Department last night, which means she would have left it this morning. If I make haste, I could still catch up to her. I must hurry. He's not running. He's just walking. Okay, save the game right here just in case. "14 minutes, people." We're not gonna tell anyone at the Justice Department? Okay. This abandoned cart looks like it's been here for a while. Commander Yao? T-Ren-G! What happened here? Her Majesty is in peril. You must save her. That madman ambushed us. You're hurt. Never mind that. The Empress is entrapped inside the tomb. You have to get her out before she drowns. Tell me what happened. How was the Empress ambushed? Earlier this morning, the Empress asked me to come with her on an important mission. She wouldn't tell me anything about it, only that it needed to be kept secret. When we arrived here, the tomb entrance was open. I could sense the danger, but she said she had to go in. I wasn't going to let her go by herself, so we entered together. As we made our way into the inner corridor, a booby trap was set off. The Empress pushed me out of the way before a large metal gate trapped her inside. That's when I saw him. He opened a water valve and ran for the exit. You mean Han Sedong? Is that his name? I told you, the Empress didn't tell me anything. I chased him down these steps, but he managed to surprise me with a strike of his dagger. But the scoundrel never saw my riposte coming either. With all my strength, I thrust my sword into his rib cage. The trail of blood behind you. Follow it, T-Ren-G. I'm certain he could not have made it very far. That wound looks bad. It's nothing. The Empress is all that matters now. I shouldn't have let Her Majesty fall for that trap. I should have protected her. You did everything you could under the circumstances. Han Sedong was in control. Don't give up on yourself now. Think of the loved ones who care for you. Think of your father, Coroner Yao. How did you know he was my father? Coroner Yao told me he had an estranged daughter. At first I did not see the connections, but slowly they came into light. In truth, the clues were abundant. The same last name, each servant in the imperial court, and both possessing the same sharp-tongued honesty. But what clinched it was his behavior after your visit to the Justice Department to confiscate the evidence. I didn't see you that night, but I knew that the Empress wouldn't have trusted anyone else for the job. Once I saw his reaction the following morning, I knew. Your father loves you very much. Now you must fight. I'll get you some help as soon as the Empress is secured. I'm sorry I doubted you, T-Ren-G. Hang in there, Commander Yao. Five plates. It's no use. These plates can be pressed, but not without the center key. Okay, so we need to find him. The trail of blood leads to a path down the hillside. Here he is, my love. Just like I promised you. Here he is, my love. Just like I promised you. It's over now, Han Sedong. I know what you've done and why you did it. Give up now before it's too late. Do you hear that, my love? The great D. Renji thinks he knows the truth. Tell me, detective, what do you think you know? I know that you're a murderous coward. You killed Zhu Linfei, Shi Wenyan, and Yuan Kiki, and now you're attempting to kill the Empress. No more games. Tell me how to open the tomb's doors so this madness may come to an end. A coward? Your precious Empress corrupts the souls of innocents and sends them to do her bidding, and you say I'm the coward? You know nothing of the truth, Di Renji. You know nothing of the depths of that woman's depravity. But you will. You will know the truth. My beloved Sun Ying will not die in vain. Oh, no. Who did you... Sun Ying? You mean the maidservant who killed the Korean ambassador in Penglai? He remembers you, my love. Think hard, detective. You were there that night. Did you really believe that Sun Ying committed suicide because of that odious rat? Or that she loved him? I knew something was off, that much is true, but it was just a feeling. I couldn't figure out why, but it all seemed staged. You're beginning to understand, aren't you? All you need is the willingness to look behind the curtains. Why do you think I've kept you so close all this time? I wanted you to see. You were fooled once, but now open your eyes and see the truth. Sun Ying was a target. No, how disappointing are you, Rinji? Her real name was Gong Zhaozha. She was the very first Silk Rose recruited by the then consort Wu. A trained assassin of the highest order, she excelled at becoming invisible. She could become anyone, make you believe anything. Do you see now? Yes, I'm starting to see. Ambassador Choi's death was made to look like a love affair gone wrong, but it was in fact an assassination ordered by consort Wu. It was all perfectly staged. First, Sun Ying infiltrated the staff, an easy task that could have been achieved by bribing the previous maidservant. Then she manufactured a romance between her and Choi, the central lie that would trick all of us. Once he was hooked, his death could be made to look like a crime of passion instead of a politically motivated assassination. That's it, go on. Consort Wu knew that she could pick up the pieces of the stalled treaty if it looked like the Korean ambassador was also at fault. The emperor was sick, and she was on the brink of power. Securing the credit for such a marquee treaty was ultimately what she was after. She saw an opportunity to gain more ground in her fight for the throne, and at the expense of her husband's legacy, she seized the moment. But why the suicide? Why did Sun Ying have to die? He's almost there, my love. Sacrifice, solidarity, and sisterhood. That was their creed. The Silk Roses were formed for one purpose only, to bolster the campaign of the first female empress. At any and all cost. Now do you understand why the worthless tyrant must be eliminated? She poisoned the hearts of those women for her own gain. Is there any worse crime? But you're the one who killed them and took their hearts. Why not spare them if you blame the Empress? I took their hearts so they could be cleansed and redeemed. They no longer suffer the stain of corruption and shame because of it. You would kill just to appease your own morbid sense of justice? Those women deserve better than that. You're the one who's been blinded by vengeance and hatred. I had to do it for Sun Ying. I had to be strong. Isn't that right, my love? She turned you against me, but can you see what I'm capable of? We were inseparable as children. We were supposed to grow old together, until that monster sank her claws into you. Suddenly you changed, said that I was too weak to understand your new purpose. But don't you see how strong I've become, my love? Enough, your wound is worsening. Tell me how to open the tomb's doors. Enough damage has already been done. At last we will be together, my love. No more distractions, no more missions. I'm so tired. So tired. Tell them what happened to us, Dirinji. Tell them what kind of person sits on the throne. You must tell them. He is dead. Well, there's something in his hand. He's not carrying anything else. He's dead. Commander Yao's sword landed a fatal strike. He was never going to make it. Su Ying's real name, Gong Zhaozha, is engraved on it. Han Sedong must have known he may not survive an encounter with the Empress. His final steps were always going to lead him back here, back to her side. Let's change history! So now he has an important decision to make. Water, metal, earth, fire, wood. I don't know. How do I figure out this combination? Ooh, lanterns. It reads first plane and now hollowed earth. First plane and now hollowed earth. Later forged by fire. Sealed by water. Okay. First plane. What is plane? So I say earth and now hallowed earth. Later forged by fire. First plane and now hallowed earth. Okay, so 3. First plane and now hallowed earth. I don't understand. This woman's gonna die, because I don't understand. I guess we'll end this right here. I'm gonna figure out this gosh darn riddle! But anyway, we have earth, fire, wood, water, and metal. Earth, fire, water. Oh! It was that simple. Got it. It's opening. Okay, we will stop the game right here. I know. Cliffhanger. But yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this action-packed episode. See you guys next time!